Hey everybody, come on in, sit back, relax. Hey, it's time for another review. I know it's been a while since I've done this, but I figure that why not we review Breaker here. So without further ado, everybody, let's see what we can do. So this is Breaker, the communication officer, and he didn't really get much love from back in the day. So this is the 1983 version, which is the swivel arm, but we'll get to that with the articulation. He originally came out in 1982. You see he's got this like two accessories, well, three accessories actually. So it's be the backpack and the helmet, but we'll take that off in a moment. So we'll bring up the file card first, and literally I have got two. So this is the G.I. Joe version, and you can pause here for a moment. And here is the Action Man version, which is what we get in Australia and New Zealand, maybe in the UK too. I'm not sure about the UK, but it's still basically G.I. Joe. You can see his file name. You see it's got Communication Officer, codename Breaker. He is Alvin R. Kirby, and his military specialty is infantry, which is quite interesting, really, because he is the communication specialist. So that should be the primary specialty. Which is, and then infantry second. So interesting, he's the officer, but his grade is an E4, which I believe is a corporal. So that's quite interesting to see that. So just take a moment to read that in your own pleasure, and I'll bring up both file cards. I have to sort of like take Breaker off here, and you can compare both file cards at the same time, roughly. Get my fat finger out of the way. So you can see the G.I. Joe one has got that nice tan colour where the Action Man's a bit faded. Special story about the Action Man, and I'll tell you that later, this version of Breaker. So I'll tell you a story about that later on, so let's put that away. Now, as I said before, Breaker came with just a couple of accessories, and so we'll take them off gently without breaking anything. So probably better take that wire out. Start with the backpack, eh? So move him aside. And he's come with this backpack, and the contents says it is a TV communication backpack. So I suppose that bottom part there is the TV screen. It's got some details and like buttons and all that. It looks pretty good, especially for 1982 and 1983. And the other content, I'll take it off real carefully, is his headset. So that's also a mouthpiece and headset. Excuse the wind here. It's got a few buttons and all that at the back. I don't know if it's actually buttons, might be readouts. And it's got like a hard plastic wire, which is really brittle, and I've got to be super careful with that. And here's me saying that and playing with it. He comes with a helmet. This isn't the original helmet. I basically take that off, and it is the typical helmet from back in the day, like in 1982 and 1983. So let's focus here. So he's got that hole there. Excuse that. It is. It's not the right helmet. It's the dark green one, which I think came with maybe a Battlefield or probably Duke, but I painted it closely enough to match Breaker's uniform. So it comes with the helmet like that. So let's just put that aside, and let's have a look at the look. Let's have a look at the sculpt, design, and articulation of Breaker here. Now you can see here that Breaker has been sun faded, because look, there's his original hair color, brown. And look, his beard has turned like a greeny sort of grey colour. Really quite stiff. So, and he's got a bit of paint scuffed there, but yeah, it's a good looking chap. He shares the same face sculpt here as Rock and Roll. which is quite typical back in the day. And he's got the same uniform. Well, the chest part here and the bottom is grunt. And he's got the rolled up sleeves as in clutch here. I do have clutch. I'm a little bit lazy, so I'll show you a picture of clutch right now. So on there somewhere. So he's got the same roll up sleeves as clutch. You can see here the metal is a crack in the elbow, so it's and right there as well. So it's getting quite brittle. It is like what is the grey? It's like a greeny grey colour. Not as grey as rock and roll. It's got some nice pants here. There's like a bit of black here. So I'll see if I can try and clean it up later on. The original the original breaker did not came with a painted grenade. I painted that grenade on there, and I believe his knife wasn't painted at all, so I took the liberty of painting that knife. So he's got the straps that go around from the back to the front, right here. He's got a nice little belt which goes right around, and also has a nice little belt buckle. It looks like the Hasbro logo, as you can see here. It's got a single pocket on the side, and it has got the 1982, 1983 Hasbro logo to it. Oh, I mean stamp mark, made in Hong Kong. He's got silver patches on the side of his pants, and over there, once again, it's got that black mark. I'll try and remove that later on. He's got some black boots, which looks pretty good to me. Okay, so let's take a look at the articulation of breaker here. So he's got the typical T pose like that, but also goes a little bit further. He's got the arms that rotate around. Once again, I said he's got that swivel arm, which swivels around. He's got a bend at the elbow at 90 degrees. At 90 degrees. He's joined by a rubber O-ring, which does like a bit of an ab crunch a little bit. He can bend his leg up by 90 degrees, bend his knee about 90 degrees. He can, and I'm not going to try and do too much. That's as far I'm going to go. I'm not going to test any more further because it is an old figure, and I'm trying to keep him pristine as possible. And here's me saying that by playing with him. So he's also got a bit of black mark. So I think later on I would actually end up repainting his beard to match his hair colour and get rid of that, once again, that scuff mark on his pants. So here we go, once again, breaker here with all his accessories, but he's missing one thing. And so what I've done is that I've got myself another M16, and I have put the rifle into his hands, like so. And he looks 100 times better. And just to be clear, it's not the same M16 as Grunt here. It's a little bit bigger and better, actually. So sorry, Grunt. Another thing you could do is actually put breaker here on the actual Ram motorcycle, which is right here. So I'll show you what I mean. And just like that. So here's breaker on the Ram motorcycle. I'll just zoom out a bit. And I did that because basically on the box art of the Ram motorcycle, it's got breaker on it, and it actually looks really quite good. Even though in the comics you've got rock and roll riding this thing, yeah, I reckon it looks tickly boo. You can sort of see. I don't know, it's just a breaker review. I've painted the Gatling gun and the motor on the Ram motorcycle. So yeah, that's breaker on the Ram cycle if you want to do that. If not, just put any other G.I. Joe figures on there.
feeling bolder. Going up, going all the way. Going high, yeah, yeah, high, yeah, yeah. Going up, going all the way. Going high, high, going all the way. Going up, going all the way. Going up, going all the way. Going high.
Well, that's it. That's the end of the No, it's not. No, it's not. Remember I said I had a story about breaker? Well, not this particular breaker, because my childhood breaker is long gone, unfortunately. But here's the story now. I entered a school fun run back in the day. I would have been quite young. Let's say 10 or 11. I know, yeah. G.I. Joe or Action Man was still running around back then. And so I entered this fun run, and there were spot prizes, and I won this. And what was the prize? Well, it was a gift voucher for the local toy store. So lo and behold, I went in there when I first got it, and I picked up Breaker, awesome as, and a Cobra Viper, or not Viper, but Cobra Trooper back in the day. So that will be another review in the future. And talking about that, so it's interesting to see, and I said before, like the two variations of the file cards. It's a G.I. Joe and Action Man. So as I said before, Action Man's back in the day. And as I said before at the review, you can always put Breaker with the Ram motorcycle. I don't, because I have myself a tan Grunt, and I just put them on there. I know it is what it is. But yeah, Breaker does look really good on this, which makes me consider maybe I should swap around and put Breaker on there. So please like, share, and subscribe. Please leave a comment, because I like to hear from you guys. Hit the notification bell, somewhere around here. Also, please like, share, and subscribe with the Barrett's podcast as well. You know, it's a small channel, but we do a lot of fun content. Even though the live stream's actually on my channel, it is what it is. So without further ado, everybody, it's Yo Joe, and see ya.